So, we want to wrap our head around Git. Let's start by talking about what Git really is. It's not necessarily what you think. Imagine that Git is layered, like an onion. We won't try to understand the whole onion at once. That would be very ambitious, to eat the whole onion. Instead, we will peel off the layers of the onion until we reach Git's conceptual core. One common definition of Git is a distributed revision control system. That's a mouthful. Not only Git does what other revision control systems do, it does that in a distributed way that's harder to understand than traditional client-server revision control systems like Subversion. So let's make things easier for ourselves and peel off one layer. Let's remove distribution. In this first part of this training, imagine that Git is not distributed at all. If you can, imagine that there is only one computer in the world and there is a repository on that computer. That's all you want to think about for the moment. So Git becomes just a revision control system, no distribution. However, a revision control system is still a complex beast. It includes things such as history, branches, merges, and these features make things more complicated. So again, let's simplify things. Let's remove one more layer. What happens if you forget about branches, history and the like? Now we have a smaller onion. You can call it a stupid content tracker, because that's all it does. It tracks content, files or directories. And if you look at Git's documentation, you will see that this is actually Git's definition of itself. Git, the stupid content tracker. If you look at it as a content tracker, then Git is easier to understand. But let's take this one step further. Forget even about tracking files. Forget about the notion of a commit. Forget about versioning. Let's look at the very core of the onion, the basic idea behind Git. And I will say that at its core, Git is just a map. A simple structure that maps keys to values. And this structure is persistent. It's stored on your disk. Now we reach the core of Git. During this training, we will rebuild the onion from the inside out and understand each layer in depth. In this module of the training, we'll talk about the first two layers of the onion. This information will be pretty technical. You might even wonder why I will go into so many details, but this is the groundwork we're laying here. Be assured that by the time we get to the second module and we get to the outer layers of the onion, you will be surprised by how concretely useful this deep understanding turns out to be. Even things you've been doing every day with Git might look different and simpler.